I know the law, Phil. I know the law too well.
Then you ought to know that there ain't no way to beat the law. White folks live by it and niggas die by it.
I saw in that clip, that was some months ago too, you can go and reference it and find it, where he told this guy, he was on and on about this guy, and I think it was about old school hip hop heads and how you should honor them, which I believe you should. But he was saying to the guy, like, I'm so rich, I got this and I got that, and I'm this and that. None of that could be further from the truth. You know, he has turned around, and then again, I have records and evidence of this where he's told the kids in writing, we have it, text messages, I'm broke, I this, I that, I can't, go get it from your mom. Now, meanwhile, I have been financially carrying this person probably for the last at least 10 years, myself and my ex-husband.
His Focus Connect back in the building, and Kimora Lee Simmons have went on the internet and said Russell Simmons is broke. She speak on how she had to fill in the gap for years and spend millions of dollars with the assistance of her husband to maintain the lifestyle for her and her daughters that Russell Simmons created. And as we know, Russell Simmons went over to Bali when all those different allegations was going on, when R. Kelly was locked up. Some allegations came up against Russell Simmons, and it looked like Russell Simmons dodged it by moving to another country. So at this point, Kimora Lee Simmons' husband have caught a money laundering charge for billions of dollars, and to where he pled guilty on this. And I'm thinking this is her ex-husband at this point. But the thing I see in this situation, that once everything was good on that side of the marriage, and Kimora Lee Simmons pretty much had everything under control financially, she wasn't really looking for Russell Simmons to do it because she had somebody on their side filling in what needed to be done. And then you have a lot of people looking at it as if from Russell Simmons saying that Kimora Lee has turned his daughters against him. You have a lot of people looking at that as if it don't make no sense because your kids are adults. And so why is it so important that he needs to come through financially for adult children? But then Kimora Lee Simmons also mentioned that the kids were still in school and everything, so it was something attached to the finals and different money that probably was needed for the finalization of the school. And as we all know, anybody that dealt with child support or have kids, if your child go to college, you're still held responsible financially. But I look at the situation and I'm gonna simplify it because I see it like a lot of women do things like this. They'll get with a guy, and because there's no issues or no problems and their life can just go on without them reverencing the father, they will kind of dismiss the father. They can go on years without caring about things that need to be done because that stuff is being fulfilled. But when you look at it from Russell Simmons' side, the man side of it, you could get in your feelings because you're looking at it like you took my daughters away from me because of that situation you had. Now that failed, you come and point everything back at me as if it's something that I need to do. And I can understand where Russell Simmons coming from their side of it, because you can look at the situation where if my kids hadn't been calling me, my kids hadn't been dealing with me, my kids don't care about me. And at this point, they're adults. So why would I go out of my way to do some things that I probably won't be appreciated for anyway? And then you got to look at it. When you have these rich kids, they don't grow up in an environment where a person is stressing how they're going to pay the light bill or how they're going to pay the mortgage or how they're going to pay their car note. So in a lot of scenarios, people that's living the life where they do have to worry about those things, they can't sympathize with those kids because they understand the real struggles of life when you don't have it. But me, I'm on the contrary because I look at things from a reality standpoint. I don't expect Russell Simmons' kids to look at life through a lens of a child that's from the hood or from the ghetto because they grew up in two different realities. When you have nannies and when you have everything at your disposal, when you're living in the most comfortable environments, you're in the most prestigious places, you have no reason to think of life in any low vibrational way. And that's just the reality. So Russell Simmons have to understand that he created the lifestyle that these kids are used to living. He created the type of personalities that they have because he was there for like 10 to 11 years of their lives. maybe longer than that. I know he was married to Kimora Lee Simmons for like right at 11 years. As a whole, the family structure, and you look at Kimora Lee Simmons speaking on him being broke, maybe he just don't want to give you anything. Because I refuse to believe Russell Simmons is broke. But it is possible that Russell Simmons, with what he have to maintain in Bali, probably can't afford the lifestyle that he created for those kids to live in. Maybe that's the idea that she's calling him broke. And then Kimora Lee Simmons have got to an age where she kind of got the double neck now. And there's no shade. I'm speaking in straight reality right now. She's still a beautiful woman, according to the way I see it. But you have to understand, and these guys that are single, that's 50 and that's around the age she is, most of the time they'll want a younger woman. And then a lot of people understand that if they deal with you, they understand the cost. And a lot of people don't want to sign up for that. See, when you looking at a relationship, most men, once they get older, they don't just look at it based on they want their woman. That's a young man game. When you get older, you start weighing the risks. You understand that if you accept that woman, you have to accept the responsibilities that come with those kids. You have to accept the responsibility of maintaining certain things about her lifestyle. And Kimora Lee Simmons is used to a certain way of living. So I look at what she's calling broke is not what the average American would call broke. You have to understand they've been living in the 1%. So the other 99%, you have some that's somewhere in the middle, some that's doing good, and then you have a lot that's not doing good at all. People can't even begin to comprehend and process what they call broke. Russell Simmons with the kids, on that end of it, if your kid's not dealing with you, you maybe have to look in the mirror as to where they maybe felt abandoned by you. They maybe felt that you wasn't there to protect them. And when a child growing up every day only seeing mom being there, just out of nature, they're going to side with their mom, especially if they can't look at you and the things that you have brought into their lives where they can compare what you've been to them and what mom's been to them. And kids don't forget arguments. They don't forget the way you treated their mom. They don't forget those things. People have to stop looking at life only through their lens. You have to look at all moving parts in the situation. But I think Kimora Lee Simmons will be just fine. I think Russell Simmons kind of got an arrogance about him where he felt disrespected in a lot of moves Kimora Lee Simmons made. But all in all, I think what's most important is Russell Simmons mending their bridge and their relationship with his daughters more than anything. I'm out.